What is up, creators? This is probably one of the main tools that you look for, that you think about, or something like this if you're getting ready to start a YouTube channel. But let's say you've already invested in all of those different things. You have at least the baseline of what you want to use to get started. And you've been making a couple videos with said gear that everybody said that would work. You've been making said videos for your channel with said microphone that everybody said would work. And you've even been implementing some of the strategies that said people, such as me, have recommended to you, and it's still not working. I understand. In this particular live stream this week, we're going to be diving into some of the things that you may be dealing with that is frustrating you, not necessarily working out the best for you, and helping you to understand when you should pivot and change and alter things when it comes to getting started on YouTube for your business. And especially if you're still new and you haven't encountered any of these things, it's going to be extremely helpful and valuable to you. So one of the things that I want to jump into this week is understanding that, yes, not all things that you hear or that other things are working for other people may not work for you. But the one thing that I found to be true, that it is like a definite, like, there's no guaranteed path of success. And don't get me wrong, I've definitely been in a place where I've questioned to say, like, you know what, everybody else is kind of like, especially when you run into those points where you're like, everybody else is winning here. Everybody else is winning with these things. What am I doing wrong? Why? Like, you start asking questions about yourself, like, is this going to work? And if it is going to work, when? So let's talk about the basic stuff, because I believe that there's something that you can do to fix any of the problems that you may be running into. And of course, as with any live stream, feel free to drop your questions in the chat as we are rolling along. You know, we do this and run this as a Q&A type of stream and segment and all the things. But let's think about it from the tech side of things, because every area and segment, I'm going to try to break this down as simple and easy as possible, and in a way that whether you're watching this live on the replay, first of all, thanks for being here and thanks for your time and attention. But I want it to be very tangible. I'm a person that is very much so, I don't like theory. That's actually why I dropped out of college. So I was sitting in a business class, and I already had a business at that time, and I was trying college again. First time I went to school, I went to Alabama A&M, and it was just to be in band. I'm sorry, I lied to just do whatever to get out of my home state so that I could just go to band. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to march in the HBCU band, and I did so. Now, okay, I'm getting older. I've, traveled and all this extra other stuff. And I'm kind of like, okay, let me try this college thing again. Decided to go to school for marketing because I figure everything that I'm going to need to do, it revolves around marketing. I already had a business. I was already making money, and I was trying this college thing again. So I'm in class, and this is something like a business economics class or something thereabout. And it was a question that went up and the teacher asked her or whatever. And I was doing pretty good in the class. Somehow we get to it, and it's kind of, one of those moments where you kind of like zone out, but then something gets your attention. And that's what happened. And the next thing I noticed, like, oh, he was like, yeah, because I want to start a business and I want to have a coin laundromat. Nothing wrong with that. But it caught my ears attention that he's like, he wanted to start a business. And like, what do you mean? How are you teaching a business class and you just want to, like, I'm in here supposedly learning from you, and I have one. I never went back. It was no point. Because there's nothing that he could teach me from theory out of the book that obviously is already outdated, because things change constantly, and there was no application of online essence or nothing. So everything that I've learned, everything that I've done, everything that's worked has to be self-taught. And it was about learning what things are going to work and when are they not, when should I shift and when should I change. So if you're implementing strategies and things that you hear, the first thing that I would tell you is that you have to have a clarity and a plan with what you're going to do, who you're going to serve, and why. Those should be very easy questions to answer. But what I find that happens most often is that people aren't actually very clear. They aren't clear at all. They are very general, very assumptive. And it's just like, if you want to help everybody, you need to go back to the drawing board. If you don't have a definitive who, then you can't be definitively targeting anybody. You have to have a definitive who. So that could be the first thing that you can check off. Is it very and abundantly clear who you serve? Blind guy, his wife, their life, saying theory is overrated. Real life is real. I heard that. What is going on, Simply Ops? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. So it's like, yeah, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, I couldn't stand theory. So here's that. But the first real thing that I will say helped tremendously with going from 0 to at least 1,000 and for sure 500 was clarity. If you're kind of like mixing and matching and just kind of dumping stuff on your channel, then you are in a position to where it's kind of like they don't know why they should subscribe yet. And you have to give people a clear and definitive reason, like, why should I subscribe? And it needs to be clear without you having to sell them on it. So let's take a look, because I've been enjoying to do this more, where I show you back in the day when I was young. I'm not a kid anymore, but something, no, I'm just kidding. So back in the day on the channel, feel free to do this anytime. I'm past it, like the embarrassment of it all. You go over here to the sort by and go to date oldest. And we've done this on other streams, but look through it through a new lens this time. If I go back to circa 2016, when I'm creating said videos and I'm up to about here, is it clear what I do, who I serve, and who I'm trying to help? Okay, I had the welcome video that was here. I'm not going to talk about that. I had gift idea stuff for startup entrepreneurs, Facebook business page. So, how to start a small business, 5 favorite apps for entrepreneurs. So it was starting to kind of be clear in regards to stuff we talked about last week about thumbnail theory and some of the other things. We'll maybe recover that. But at this point, it's like, and these are not my very, very, very first videos. My very, very first videos are on Facebook. They were in a private group with my coach, where I got a chance to just get used to being on camera through a video challenge that he had going on. So by the time I started posting to YouTube, I was like, okay, well, I want to help women maybe get started with their business. Okay, that's what I was going to talk about. And so now I'm like, it's not working. It's not working. I went my first year after I hired my business coach. I went a whole year without getting not one single client, not one. So I'm posting videos. I haven't invested in a camera yet, other than a little point and shoot one from like Canon PowerShot, whatever one. And then I'm like, I'm using my phone. Like, let's just go there. Let's just go there. And embarrassment in 3, 2. Jeez Louise. Why do I do this? Pay $5 to wherever to get this. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Diana here with the passion. I don't need, first of all, my voice, I don't even understand my voice. This is how not myself I was. My voice was not the same. And I get that your voice changes, but not that severe. So much so, like, here's the thing. I was so nervous when I would do these videos. My voice didn't sound like me. That sounds like someone with a bubble in their throat, kind of a, voice or whatever, but this was not me. Okay, had the lapel microphone, so I'm starting to get some of the things. White balance is questionable here, understanding somewhat about putting stuff on the screen, nothing about framing or whatever, but and here's the thing. I was copying people and I didn't understand why they were doing certain things, but I was trying to understand. So all of this was for more or less, so you could put text over here. What am I doing? Putting it over here, over in the bottom left of the screen. And so at the time when I was just getting started, I'm copying, I'm mimicking, I'm doing all these different things, and I'm trying to get it to work, and it's just not working. And when you emulate what other people are doing, it starts to put you on the road of where they are, but you still don't have clear directions of how to get to where they're going. It's just like saying everybody gets on Highway 40, for example. If everybody's getting on Highway 40 because that's what takes them to California, this is all made up. That's the highway that takes them to California, and everybody's going. You say, I want to go too. you know to at least get on Highway 40 with a car with gas and a couple bologna sandwiches, but you have no idea of the other directions of what it takes. So you figure they're taking this, I'm taking that. They're taking this, I'm taking that. And that's kind of what a lot of people do when we do these channel reviews. And it's like you're emulating other things. There's nothing wrong with that because it gets you to find your style. I didn't know what I was doing back then, and it was very clear and abundant. Let's go back to the channel. So now I'm starting to take an interest into more of the video things, but it's a year goes by and I'm kind of getting like this. I'll explain this, why this has 7.9 thousand views and why this one has 3.2 thousand views. And even this one with the 8.1, and when I quote unquote said I didn't know what I was doing. At the time that I released this, those videos were no different than anything else. 26 views. Even this one, like it's sitting at 74,000 views or whatever, like that was an anomaly. You know what I'm saying? Like even some of these other ones, the reason why some of these older videos started to do better is because somewhere in about this time frame, once I crossed over into about January or February 2017, I started to invest in myself. And that was the first thing that I can say, if you're going to do anything, you need to invest in yourself. I'm not going to lie. I got the video content masterclass that's going to be launching here very soon. There's still the wait list that's available right now. So you haven't missed anything, and I'm not afraid to plug it. We also got the membership. We have a meeting at, our meeting today is at 2:00. So all you people that's part of the Video Simplified membership community, we meet at 2:00 today, Central Standard Time. That's only going to be for an hour. It don't have to be mine, because this may not be the lane of what you're trying to do, but invest into where it makes the most sense from who you're learning from and for where you need to go. If I wanted to learn real estate, it's a few channels and pieces of people, of content that I consume. I would, if they had something, I would go with them, because if you're subscribed to them, you're watching, consumer their content, like you need to start investing in themselves, because in yourself, because it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. Now, when I started to invest in myself, some of you guys come from the Video Ranking Academy through Sean Cannell and Think Media and Heather Torres. So Dyna.link/VRA if you want to check out their course on that. So in this time frame of stuff not working, I'm still making content and I'm still believing that things are going to be better, but they just aren't. What happened was, because of the things that I was learning that I had paid for, I already had paid for 2 coaches. So I'm out maybe $6,000 or so. And I'm also invested in gear. So let's tack on another, it wasn't like $6,000 at that point for the gear and stuff like that. It's just like in coaching with nothing more than kind of like advice, if you will, of things like that they did and try. There's nothing wrong with that, because I trusted them at the time and that was the right move for me. Because the first coach got me going with video. The second coach started to help me get me more in tune with the marketing and the email list and the things that I should be doing that I was missing out on, that I just didn't pay attention to for whatever reason from my first coach. And so now by the time I'm investing again for the third time, I started investing into stuff because I'm like, okay, I'm committing to doing the YouTube thing. So I'm going to commit to education of learning to do what the hell I'm doing, because me just trying to figure it out is going to take forever. So the reason why some of these older videos ended up taking off is not because they ended up taking off. If we move that over here, this, if you notice, like the average view was like between 30 and maybe 100 views or something there, about even like 14, 24. The reason why this one got 8.1 thousand, the reason why this one got up to 74,000, 3.6 thousand, 8,000 on some of these, because if we look at these videos as a whole, it's not that they were any better. Honestly, it's like I had the HR 2100. I had all the same stuff. However, thumbnail sucked, let's just call it what it is. All of the same things, but now I'm starting to take video ideas that I had and I could put applicable information and knowledge towards them, stuff that actually was going to work. And so because of that, now I'm like, okay, I can start to apply some of the things of what I was learning. So because of that, now I can go back and start to use some of the things that I was learning through VRA. So again, my affiliate link for that, dinah.link/VRA, if you want to check that out. So I'm like, okay, now I'm understanding the purpose of ranking and stuff like that. And I get that there is sometimes a little bit of a questionable thing about if ranking works or not. And the way that I always put that question to bed is that most of all of y'all found me through somebody that either searched for something and I came up, or I was recommended and related. And if you didn't find me through somebody, or you found me through because you were searching for something and I came up in search, or I was recommended or related along the side. Either way, search is a main way of how people use YouTube. The reason why you want to take time and invest in whomever's course, program, or whatever is because now you need to take your ideas and put it to like a proven formula. And it's not that the formula is always going to have 100% success rate, because that's just not accurate. But you can start to get better and start to get closer. So if the stuff and the things that you are doing is not working, the first thing that you can do is like, it's like you can invest in the gear, but that's only like a portion of a step. That's not even, it's like a half of a step of the process. Because then once you get the stuff, that purchasing decision is over. Like it's use it and learn more about it. So let me know in the chat what you guys have used that's working, not working for you. The Oliver Perry, good to see you. Saying great advice. If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one, 100%. Saying great story of why you left college to be successful, since you already had clarity and success in motion. The key thing though, I actually didn't have clarity. I thought I did. I was just willing to take a bet on the best that I knew at that moment. That's the thing with that. I didn't start my business even at that time. Yeah, I was getting some clients in something else that I was doing, but it wasn't that like I had like so much good clarity, but I had enough to like just say I'm gonna start it and I'll figure it out along the way. Kim Booch is saying, Lord, not gonna talk about it. It's tough to copy and learn what they are doing, and why they're doing it sometimes. 100%. Saying I've been stuck at 3,300 for about 2 years, moved up to almost 4K. Then over the past 6 months, I've lost a bunch. It's like YouTube is cleaning. 100%. So that's a true thing, because, and I've shared this on Instagram slide, people will buy bots. And not that you have, but I'm just saying in general, people will buy bots. There are fraudulent people and stuff out there. People that do shady. They live at Shady Acres, like subdivision. And so, there's a bunch of weirdo characters out there and people just trying to game the system. So people will buy bots and stuff like that to do and trigger and work whatever kind of a thing, or they're trying to do whatever weirdo stuff people do. So sometimes you'll get bots that are subscribing or stuff like that, and sometimes you'll get people that subscribe and then who knows, they may leave or decide they don't want to be online anymore, or they lose access to the Gmail or something like that or whatever, and so that Gmail goes dormant. I think we all kind of had like a Yahoo back in the day from whatever, when you put on your first job application, something crazy like these boots were made for walking at Yahoo. Like we had all these weirdo, like nobody told us anything. Like you're going to need to put that on an application. You find with bringing sexy back 22937, like nobody told us that. So, but yeah, it's like, so sometimes because fake accounts, fake Gmails for different reasons, sometimes because people are just completely inactive for far too long, are simply not getting engaged. They're not engaging with that Gmail account anymore. I don't know how long it sits before those go, but YouTube always is doing a purging of that. So sometimes that stuff will happen. But if you've been stagnant, or feeling like you've been stagnant for a time, you have to revisit again, go back to the beginning, because sometimes we try to force the success through and we try to force the views through, and that becomes a very tiring race to run, because it becomes a type of a hamster wheel. And so to get off of that hamster wheel, you need to get out of the cage and reassess. And that could be taking a look at not just like some people say, well, what was your most successful thing? And just do that over again, because that may have been seasonal. It may have been temporary. It may have been trending, or it may have been something that you touched on for a second, didn't mean to think that it was going to blow up in that way. and then all of a sudden, like, you really are passionate about something else, you switch, or not even you switch, you just start talking more about the thing of what you really wanted the channel to be about, and they say, I'm not here for that, I'm not interested. Let me know when you get back to that thing. It's like if you go to a barbecue joint and they advertise barbecue, all the commercials show barbecue, and you walk in and it's a vegan spot that doesn't sell barbecue at all. They have like charcuterie boards on the tables and stuff. It's like, what? It's like, let me know when you get some barbecue in here. Or some people, they just bounce. So when you get subscribers, you have to understand, why did they say yes? And your YouTube analytics can tell you what things not just brought views and subscribers, but what things people are interested in. And furthermore, what things were people interested in when they were searching for you. Let me pull this up. I wasn't intending on doing this today, but let's go there for this one real quick. And just to be completely honest, because I'm on a time today, we may not get to all comments, so just know that that's a thing. So if you want to repost it, you can. If you want to put 3 question marks in front of your question, I'll do a search for 3 question marks if you have questions, and then I'll do that. But I'll try, but I more than likely probably won't get to all things today. Let's take a look-see here. I'm going to search on my channel, and I will show you how you can start to identify where and how people came to find you, why and whatnot, and stuff like that. Let's take a look at that, and that'll help, I think, some of you with understanding your YouTube analytics a little bit more. All right. So this is the video that I did, which is better for videos, to answer to a question that comes up a lot in a way that I wanted to explain this so people understood that here is the basic differences of what you can kind of expect between the A6100, the A6400, and A66, and which one logically makes the most sense. All right. Most of y'all stop at the views and the money and the subscribers. But the thing that you don't pay attention to is this, the audience retention graphs. And for the videos that you have on your channel that are on brand, that are important to what it is that you want to build a community around, how well did you maintain people's attention in the video, and how well did not? I did not pick this because of the audience retention for this one. I just picked one that was on, I picked A6400, and I was like, that'll work. So, because I haven't looked at these analytics in a second. So this one is like telling me 60% of people that watched this video watched most of it. They got about 60% of the way, which the goal is to get to at least 50% by the end of the video. What you'll notice in your audience retention graphs, and if you're watching this on the replay, you can pull this up alongside your stuff. What I see a lot of like clients and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's go and sign into your YouTube account. Here's what I usually see. Something that looks like that. And the reason why that steep incline is happening, because during this pivotal section, which is usually like the first 30 seconds of your video, you are losing people's attention for some reason. And if that first 30 seconds is not getting to the point, what is the point of the video? It was a tweet that went out, said for most YouTube videos that you watch, you can just completely skip almost a minute to 30 seconds into the video, and they're just now starting to talk about that. And that bothered me simply because it's true. And so I was like, I want to make videos that don't fit that, because we all hate it. So anytime I notice something that we hate as viewers, I'm taking it out of my videos if I'm doing it. So I'm very consciously aware of the what's considered like the hook in the videos. And this is something that's fixable. I am all about things that you can change and that you can do and that you can fix, because you are in control of your channel. It's not about the other people or the views. And it's like, well, when they come, oh, if you build it, no, if you work at it and build something that they want, then they have no problem with coming, because they're searching for it. Like, that's the thing. People are already searching for it. It's just a matter of when they find it. Sometimes are they leaving? The other thing that'll happen is that you may see where people, like, it comes in and it goes, and then it's spike, and then it's like you see them leave, and then it's a spike, and then, you know what I'm saying? It kind of don't go like that. It go like that. So what happens here, people are more interested in the stuff sometimes where it spikes up. It's something maybe they click to, like if you're using channel chapters, and it may be something that they are also clicking away when people are bailing and it's dropping off. So if somebody's skipping around in the video, that should make you ask yourself a question. What are they looking for in this video? What's the core reason of why they came? And some of y'all's videos, I'm be completely honest when I'm doing reviews, and I try to be as empathetic as possible, but as accurate as possible. That's why people hire me. And it's just like, you are too much so concerned with presenting yourself as professional instead of just being professional, as Doc would say, in the sense that just make what they want. Stop dragging the tail along like, well, I don't want them to skip to. It's a whole bar that we can skip around if we want to. And if I don't even see the screenshots, it was a video that I wanted, I'm going to make on my own channel, because I was searching for something. I didn't find a sufficient answer, which is how I got started in the tech stuff, because I wasn't finding sufficient answers for somebody like me that had a business that needed to understand the tech stuff and needed to not try to become a filmmaker with all the stuff and like your way, like, no, you need to do this, invest in this. It's like, dude, why? Why do I need these $500 pieces of paper to freaking white balance instead of a $7 something for what I'm doing? Not finna happen. It's some things that are worth the investment, and some stuff is like, I'm not a filmmaker, yo. I'm not trying to be. I'm not a photographer. I'm not trying to be. And so it was a video I was searching for recently, and I finally found the video through like a Facebook, and then the Facebook video was just like a ad to go watch the video on YouTube. I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I finally click, and it's like, oh, you need to expand the thing if you want to find the link, trying to get you to read it. Lady, I don't have to read this. I can scroll past it. Like, and so I finally get the YouTube link at the bottom of this whole, whatever the hell she was talking about. I click on it, and then I go finally find the YouTube video. And what I've been looking for is like a 15-second blip at the end of a 3-minute video. Some of y'all do stuff like this thinking I'm gonna get them to read all about the video content masterclass. And when they done reading, then I'm gonna give them the link. And then I'm gonna give them a preview of what the video is gonna be about that I already made, that they could stop doing weird things. What you don't like, your viewers don't like also. So sometimes you need to take a look at your audience retention and see like where are people searching for. And furthermore, you can click on those points, and YouTube's done such a better job at trying to help educate you. Like, where did they go and try to find like, what's the core thing? Because sometimes y'all need to remake videos that like all of what it should have been. Just remake it. There's nothing wrong with remaking videos, but sometimes you need to remake it and remake it better and just get to the point. The other thing, like, so let's take a look at this one here. So the same video, and it's like the traffic search, 34.2% is coming in from YouTube search. Fantastic. All that's important, but I'm scrolling down. The thing that I'm looking for is the stuff that I'm trying to get into the psychology of the viewer at the point that I'm doing research and stuff like this. What are they looking for? And what kinds of other things are they interested in? And also the number one thing, whenever you're doing a video, you have a title, you have a description, you have a thumbnail, and then you have the core video. And it's not 5 things. I'm not one of those people that can keep the pinky down and do that. So whatever, when I get to 4, they all pop out. It is what it is. So when you have those 4 key elements, now you I said, I'm going to show you why, and I can't recommend it. I'm just drinking the tea. Why honest organic honey green tea is keto friendly or whatever the hell. I don't know any of these things. It could be. And so it's just like, will this fit the keto diet? Let's say if this is one of the things. I already assume that you know what keto means, but more or less you're trying to figure out, is this something maybe you can incorporate in your diet? You also want to maybe compare this to something that you may already buy. Let's say Lipton's brisk iced tea kind of a thing does a healthier version. And these two often get compared. I need to really understand where you're coming from. So by the time you click on that video, I need within those first couple seconds, really those first 8 to 10 to 15 seconds, to let you know if you are or are not in the right place, and if you need to leave or if you need to stay. My content is always attracting and repelling on purpose. If you are wanting to be a filmmaker and that's your goal, leave, because this is more or less not going to get as technical as you want. If you do care about just trying to learn it, get it to look good, and get back to the reason of why you have the business, this is the channel for you. That's the main crux of why I do what I do. So it's like the same thing. It's like if you have something that you're talking about or you're teaching on, like you really need to understand why that person came to your channel or not. So sometimes the content may not be working, and the channel and the videos may not be working for a lot of you guys because you don't understand what they're looking for, why they came. You just figure I'm gonna talk all about. No, that's not what we need to do, because they came for a specific thing. It's like going to the pepper and seasonings aisle and you just looking for Lawry's seasoning salt, right? And they want to explain to you the difference between iodized salt and sea salt and Himalayan salt and all this other stuff. And it's just like, the hell is wrong with the grocery store? So understand that. Last thing here, statistically, YouTube source traffic source from the YouTube search. Okay. I'm outlining that most of the stuff that's coming in from this, the percentage of viewers is higher for the YouTube search. YouTube is also telling me for that traffic source, here's this other stuff that they're looking for and that they're interested in. So I need to now understand what's your, most of it A6100 streaming. A6100 versus A6400, A6100, A6400 versus A1600, because you know why? YouTube can track every little thing that you are doing. They know, because that it's like, as the viewer, we are not complaining about the channels that we scroll past, and we are not upset about the ones that we find that are great and exactly what we wanted. YouTube is doing the same thing. So if you're in the creator spot and you just unfortunately happen to be that video or that channel that isn't producing more of what the person wants, make better content. And the way that you can make better content is curate it for that specific audience. Goes back to point number 1 about clarity. I'm going to be breaking down. I've never talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it more on the channel, but I'm definitely going to do an in-depth training on it. In this video content masterclass on this clarity content formula, because, and it's an acronym, but it's like, if you don't understand clarity, none of this other stuff is going to work. None of this other stuff is going to work in the video itself, and then as a channel overall. Next question on here. Kombucha is saying, I too did similar things early. I tried to sound a certain way or be like other people. I looked looked uncomfortable. I hate listening to the old videos simply because it just don't sound like me. Even like, I'm glad I deleted my first podcast ever, the old podcast that I used to have. I'm like, who even is talking? It's still available on the channel because I uploaded it, but it sucks. So I'm enjoying seeing someone I watch had to learn at first, 100%. Saying to learn it, let me make this bigger, because apparently, and I'm there in that stage of spectacles. Saying that learning curve will help you really learn, though. Film study helps to go back and realize what you can do better, what you didn't learn, and stuff like that, what to invest in. Yeah, but it's like, the thing is, it's like, you got to know where to cut the cord. So the problem with some people, and part of the problem, my personal interest in the gear side of things can be like this one and this one, but it's like, it's always every new season, every new quarter, it's going to be new gear, new and improved, and some stuff age out. May not be bad, but it just ages out. And it's just like, okay, let's keep up with the thing. It's like, nobody wants to still have a GeoCities website though either. It's simply all saying, I'm excited. That's what's up. Saying each niche is different, 100%. Saying you were recommended and related. Oh, okay. So that's how you found me. Appreciate that. We got a super chat from Book of Alpharonomy. Appreciate you, brother. Saying, I'm my most valuable stock and primary investor. Bless up. Salute to the Glad gang. Sir, I appreciate you. Thanks so much for the super chat. So let's see here. All right. So let's go back to chat. Hold on. Saying, please stop talking bad about me, Diana. I'm fixing my YouTube. A mess. Miss, is it Khalees? Is that right? Hi, everybody. Love this. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, I'll be checking that as soon as this is over. 100%. Saying, checking my audience retention stats now. Hello, creators. Real talk with... Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even want to butcher it. Good to see you, sister. Glad that you're here. Alrighty. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something else within this, because I think if you are only looking at general statistics, I don't want to dive too much into that because it's easy to get wrapped into one layer after another layer after another layer. Fantastic. However, let's say you got clarity in the who. You know who you need to be talking to. A few things you can probably fix in the first minute of your video as far as getting to the point. That's changeable. It's fixable. The best videos or the videos that you want to do better, you can remake them. Audience retention graphs will be improved because you can do that. You can understand more of what your audience is wanting and searching for, and they're understanding their behavior on the platform by looking at your statistics. Fantastic. However, the other thing that y'all also don't look at is this audience tab, right? When you go down here, what's interesting is my audience for this video, 100% male. 100%. Shout out to the fellas. Ladies, nobody cared about that video. No, I'm just kidding. But 100% is looking at this and they're male. I get it, because most of this industry in this space is male dominated, and women are fine with using their phone most of the time, or like more or less a point shoot camera in the early stages at times. And this video is just there right now for where it's at. The other thing, some of y'all get upset when you see this for the watch time, and that most of the people most of the time are not subscribed. And it's just like, well, if you watch 60%, and if you enjoyed it, why didn't you subscribe more? Because sometimes we don't always subscribe on the first go round. I don't know if I want to commit to you yet. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes it's like, and here's the thing. If you set your channel up right, and I'm going to try to go through some of the best things that I can within the time that I have to try to get you to as close to right as possible. If you set your channel up right, then you can start to get them to get in a yes pattern. If you've ever studied sales and psychology and marketing, anytime somebody is saying like, you know how you want your channel to start growing, in your mind, you're like, yes. And if you are very frustrated about this, it's the infomercial strategy, more or less. I'm saying that, but it's like, it works in everything. So that's how some of y'all got married. It's like, are you tired of the spaghetti stains messing up your plastic bowls? Yes. Are you tired of every time that you want to put this dish together, it just looks horrible? Yes. Well, then you need such and such. They get you in a yes pattern. And the more that you watch it, and you probably went and bought some of these things, or when it came to Walgreens or CVS or, Walmart even, or whomever, and you saw it, you was like, let me get that. So, and when you're watching a YouTube video, sometimes you are looking for something, but you're not trying to. The goal when you're looking in the search behavior on the social behavior on YouTube, they're searching for something. They're looking for an answer. Sometimes they're not willing to say, even if the video was good, to put a period at the end and say, that's all that I needed. Because it may be something else that they are also looking for. And another successive question is what I call the next logical question. And does it answer that? If it does not, then there's a problem. So case in point, when we look at these graphs and we start to understand the story, the one thing I learned about banking, and when I was in the financial services industry for like a decade, is that when you're looking at somebody's credit report, you're looking at stuff like this, that's kind of like numbers and graphs and stuff like that. And you know their behavior of when they paid and when they didn't, with all this and other stuff. The best underwriter, Mickey, she taught me that everybody's credit report and credit history tells a story. It tells a story of what they've experienced, what they've gone through when they had challenges, and when they kind of are starting to come out of those, or did, and they're doing better or whatever. Everybody's credit history tells a story. The same is true with your YouTube channel. So when I start to understand the who is watching, are they subscribed or are they not subscribed and stuff like that. If I go back to my engagement tab, you can do that, or the other one I will go back to. And I'm starting to look at the audience retention. This one is great for this one. Okay. I'm understanding for the reach. The next logical question for most of these people that's looking through search, that's not subscribed, is they want to know now. They've kind of solidified based on this video. I'm leaning towards the A6100, but can it stream? That's what that tells me. So one, I have another video that at that point that I can make. I'm pretty sure I have so many videos I record. I just have not edited because I'm in the process of hiring an editor. In the process, should be fully on board next week. My assistant, hoping to get another one soon after that. And so if I go A6100 on the channel, now I can say the ZV-1 versus A6100, which is a whole other thing. And then I got this one. I got this other test one for streaming. But when I go to this video, the lead with this one is for the A6100 is not answering the question about streaming only, but it does answer the question about unlimited recording. So in the process of that person probably searching and it being confusing old information, because I search what I think my audience would search as well in the way that they would search for it, I'm now going to go and I'm going to think like, okay, what are they going to find? Right now, you're not going to find an A6100 how to stream with this camera because I don't own it. I could do it with the A6400, but I don't know. I probably will. But that's one that's missing. But the next one is just like, because it was old misinformation out there that it could not record longer than 30 minutes. It just wasn't clear when the stuff came out. Okay, I look at this audience retention graph, a little bit more of the thing, like you see the humps, a little bit of the bumps, and you start to see it trending down. Didn't quite get to the 50% mark on this one, but 40% is not bad either. Excuse me. All right, so if I go now to this one and I start looking at the reach and I start scrolling down, again, 50% of this one coming from the YouTube search, so that's the primary. I'm also looking at the GIN, a person that's looking for stuff around the A6100. They're trying to understand stuff. Now it's like camera for recording video, budget for video photography. So these are different. These are different than the other one. And what that tells me is that it's like, what's the story that can be told from what I'm looking at? So when you look at your YouTube statistics to try to figure out what's working and what's not working, what's the story that can be told? Even if I if I didn't dig any further deeper into the analytics, if I didn't do anything else different, based on what I'm seeing thus far, there's a lane of people that's looking for the A6100 that's trying to see, is this right for me? They want to know, can it stream? Different from the video of the one about it. I included like that it can stream and it does it fine, but there's no siloed video out about it on my channel. The people that are looking for is stuff like, can it record longer than 30 minutes? Because not everybody that cares about it streaming, if it can stream fine, it has a clean HDMI, they don't care because they're not internally recording. The people that care about it recording care about budget camera for videography, a best camera for podcasting. So what that tells me is that the streamers, even if somebody's streaming podcasting, either they're saying, I don't care, or they're saying like, I do care if it is like recorded only podcast kind of a stuff. And because of that, now I need to start drawing out the lanes. What's the next logical question, right? That NLQ, next logical question. So when you look at your statistics and when you see maybe how they found you, especially when it's more YouTube search heavy, like these, like all of my videos are, most of them. Some videos I create, I'll save that. I'll go into that in a second. But what's the next logical question? If you cannot definitively say that you have an answer to that next logical question, not like, well, if they just do, no. Is it clear? Then that may mean that they need to leave and go someplace else to find the answer. And that may not mean to you, which means you didn't earn the yes. You got them on a yes pattern, but you weren't enough of a yes for them to be like, eh. Or if you have, and again, for a reason why something like the M50 series did well, or even some of the Sony content now is starting to like, I'm noticing that Diana Gladney Sony camera is a search phrase that's now starting to, for me and my name, trending as one of the things that people search for. They don't just search my name. They search my name. They search Canon M50. They search channel. They search Sony and Sony camera. Those are the, like, so if somebody's searching for you, which is again why I say whenever I'm doing channel reviews for a lot of you guys, can you be found by your name? That's also why I dropped the Entree Woman TV portion off of the name, because I had to recognize what's the social behavior for when somebody's searching for me specifically. So it's not that that can't be branded, but it just was making things more difficult, and I'm not married to it. So when you start looking at that next logical question of in your content and in your statistics, what now do you need to create to make that person be able to go from one of your videos to another one of your videos to another one of your videos to another one of your videos? They maybe are only okay with going back to this video over here if one of their questions was also, can it record? And then they see it and they like, I'll leave that one and come over to this one real quick. So those two videos to look at were not planned, but it can let you know, like when you have a process and then knowing how you're looking at your stuff and like, you know what I'm saying, being able to definitively answer those questions, you don't have to like start feeling bad. And I know sometimes the blame game is something that I hear a lot of people, yeah, I bought that person's course, or yeah, I did this and they ain't helped me do nothing. The only person's job when they're giving you a course, because you don't even know how much money I've spent on courses and stuff. The only person's only job is to provide you the information. It's not a hand-holding session. It's not a let's get married for forever and ever and a day, and I can't change the information. Like, it just don't work like that. There were people that when I got started like 5 years ago was doing like YouTube trainings and blah 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 blah, big huge courses and seem to be doing really well. No longer making content, like they can't even find them. Like when you search for the basic stuff when somebody's first getting started, you never see that name come up. I don't want to drink this tea anymore. It's not vibing with me today. Not that it's bad, but I just want some water. So let's go to the chat. Shout out to the super chat coming in from Earl Hall. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much. You are the bomb.com. Let me scroll back up real quick. So throw your questions in the chat. Let's do a little bit of Q&A here. Let's take a look. Saying, I love this kind of content. Thanks, Diana Gladney. My pleasure. Glad to be of service. So I made the mistake of building my audience on one focus and trying to change the focus. Big mistake. Glad I caught it early. Thanks for all you do. My pleasure. So that's the interesting thing, because I shifted my channel as well, and not everybody's willing to rock with you through those changes. You know, not everybody is like, if they said yes for cycling videos, and then the next thing you know, you making videos about homemade granola and like, you know, it's like oat, you know, it's like oat videos. They like, yeah, I ain't sign up for that. So it's okay though, because you got to understand, you got to have tough skin to get through those kind of transitions and stuff like that. And it's okay to have a niche channel where that's all that you talk about. Early on though, if you are under 100 videos or less, and those 100 videos are focused videos around what your channel promises saying that it's going to deliver on. If you under 100 videos like that, because you can post, it's easy to just dump 100 videos on there just talking about whatever. But if like 100 focused pieces of content or whatever, then at that point it's very easy for somebody to come to your channel, look around and say yes. I'm gonna teach y'all some real quick, one quick secret here. Let's do this. When you come over here, this is again old, just posting on YouTube version. When you come and this is all you see on the channel, because one of the things I work with my clients is making sure that they can start getting subscribers just when somebody looks at your channel. Like you can get subscribers just off of people looking at your channel. Like they see the one video, they find you or whatever. Or even you could be in a chat and somebody thinks you're interesting or whatever, and they see it, and then like even YouTube has changed things to make that more of a thing now. And so it's just like, oh, this is this person's name. You click on it, it pops up. Like you can click on whoever the person is above you in the chat and take a look at their account and what their channel is about. If you look at this channel now, back then, excuse me, most people weren't willing to subscribe to that. It's hard to identify what is about. Like it's the thumbnails aren't easy to focus on. They easily say yes, which means I got to burn more mental calories to try to figure it out. It's harder to say yes to that. You flip to the newest videos. Oh, you know what? Let me get off the videos tab because something is going to, what did I click? Oh, the YouTube studio. So I'm gonna get off of that and let's go over here because I also have unlisted videos that, like for the membership, we put stuff on YouTube. So y'all ain't slick. We ain't gonna show that. So, but if you look at the channel though, from here, is it easier to say yes to this? The answer is yes. It's not because of the who I am. I started from nothing like everybody else. I started from not knowing what the hell I was doing like everybody else. But when you start building out a channel that makes sense that people can say yes to, they'll subscribe on site. This is how currently right now it's like about 500 to 600 subscribers every month. You know what I'm saying? Without being super aggressive, because it's easy for people to say yes based on the content. And this is something that's important that a lot of y'all don't do, is that when you have like the new to creating videos, start here. Like what are they new to when they come to your channel? Like, are you new to knitting? Start here. Are you new to real estate? Start here. Or new to multifamily homes? Start here. New to getting your, I don't know, your dribble right or basketball basics? Start here. What do they need to begin, especially when you get to a point that you have a vast library? Because I understand it's harder for people to find my content now because it's a ton of videos. But this is where your playlists and stuff matter. Because the next one, getting started with Sony ZV-1 for videos, that one's not supposed to be there. Let me get that off that playlist. There we go. So yeah, that one's not supposed to be there. So getting started with Sony ZV-1 for video, there's a playlist for you. Getting started with Sony cameras for video, there's a playlist for you. Curated with stuff that matters. You want to look at YouTube shorts? There's the playlist. It's sitting on the shelf. You want to look at the recent uploads of what the things are that I've talked about? There's a playlist for that as well. Using the Rodecaster Pro for video. Dang, why am I accidentally putting stuff on my playlist that don't have nothing to do? Okay, there we go. I be watching videos on YouTube, but that's a good tutorial though. If you want to get into Final Cut Pro trainings, Ripple Training is a great channel to check out. That's who that channel is. They do some awesome stuff. So I got that stuff around the Rodecaster Pro. So stuff like with my settings, the memory card that I use, the FET head versus the, what do you call the thing? Cloud lifter. You know, why I rock with that one. The Rodecaster Pro and how I use that with Clubhouse. There's going to be another one that's going to be coming about how I use the Shure SM7B and the Rodecaster Pro with the Instagram Live. Audio tips for creating videos. So if you need help, what cable should I use for videos? Best wireless unit for video? ? Is it? No, I don't think so anymore. It's other stuff. Now I got to get the real wireless goes. So that one. Other thing, Shure SM7B doesn't need a preamp. Okay, video recording and editing, all the things. When I go back up to the channel promise, what am I saying I'm going to give you up here? Video simplified. Video simplified for busy entrepreneurs, period. If you cannot go through your library and your catalog of content and the beginning of your playlist, and here's the thing, you can have 5 videos and still have playlists that are relevant to like the filling that out. Cause sometimes you only have 1 or 2 videos in a playlist, but you plan to add more. Still make the playlist and add a freaking description, y'all. Cause you know why? They can see it. They can read it. It helps get people to say yes by just doing the basics. You never get past doing the best practices. All right. Burgess saying I'm a long form content, which has its pros and cons. So am I. Here's the thing. Not everything though has to be long. And sometimes we can be creating long form content because we're long winded. Guilty. But if you take a look at some of the more recent videos on the channel, let's take a look here. We got the live stream that's going now. We got the video that just came out a day ago. That's 7 minutes. That is still considered, once I get to like 7, 8, then I'm looking at longer form content. You got a 5-minute video right here. Got a 4-minute video right here. This is not last week's live stream, but the live stream before, because we had a accidentally played some music on that one. Is what it's supposed to. 5 dumb mistakes. That's a 15-minute video. That's long form content. So live stream, that's long of obviously. 8.5 minutes. That's long form content. 5 minutes. That's a good chunk of time. Because when you honestly think about it, 5 minutes is a real long time. But you start to look at some of these videos that are posting on the channel, 4 minute, 11 minutes. It's like, I make sure that, like Sean Cannell teaches, make the video as long as it needs to be and no longer. If it's a video that is like you have 2 sectors of content, there's going to be content that is to reach a wider audience. If you think about it, when I used to do my channel intros all the time on every video, it's to help you reach wider and connect deeper with the people that need you the most. Because when you are creating videos, you have 2 forms of content, primary forms of content that you make. Content that is designed to reach a wider audience that is not subscribed to you, doesn't know who you are, but has a specific pain point that you can help address. The second form is that you have content that reaches deeper, which means connecting with the existing audience that is already on your subscriber list, they're on your email list, all of that. So when I go back to a piece that is designed to reach wider, create vertical videos faster, 4 minutes. I don't need it to be long. A piece that's designed to connect deeper, 15 minutes. I want to talk as long as I want to, because I'm explaining my mistakes and you probably ain't going to watch this video unless you already rock with me. So you got to understand, like, when you're connecting your content formula together, when you're creating what you're going to be making stuff about, is it a piece that's designed to connect and go deeper with the people that are already there? Or is this a piece that I need to be very cautious about the where and the how I'm putting people? Because I'm like, these people are just like, you got, again, one vein of content where you want people to be subscribing to you. You want them to find you. You want it to be easy to say yes, because they got other videos to watch and they can compare the time. 14, 15 minutes, 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going with the 3, 4 or 5. The other thing is that you also have to understand, like, the people that want to know more about you, it's like people care about the failures. They want to know what worked, what didn't work, which is why I'm peeling back the cover today and sharing more of the stuff that we deal with and go through as a creator. So you can make long form content. All of my videos were long in the early days because I didn't understand this concept. And so I would talk for as long as I wanted to talk. And sometimes you got to condense that. This is long form content. Nobody will ever watch the live streams or come hang out if I hadn't earned the right to even ask them to show up to a live stream with no expectation if I'm actually going to deliver on what I said the video was about. But I earned people's trust because of the recorded videos. So this is where the recorded and the live stream strategy kind of works together. If I can get you to watch a video and watch most of it and actually deliver on why I said I was making the video, what I said I was going to teach you, or show or share with you in the video, and you actually are pleased and you get the answer by the end of the video, and I've done that consistently, and I got you to a point to trust that I will deliver on what I said I was going to do, more people become apt to saying yes to you on a live stream when they have to. It's just in real time. We actively share this time together where I can make a 15-minute video and you may watch 2 or 3 minutes because you skip. So it's a lot to unpack in that one, but you know, there you go. So Q for the question. So my question is regarding that masterclass you mentioned today after the stream. What should we expect asking for a friend? So the masterclass is not today. The video simplified community over here through Buy Me a Coffee, we're meeting today. So we have this week we're focused on content creation. And so this week in the video simplified community, the monthly membership community, which is just like $10 a month currently. And so all the stuff you get here, you go to the dyna.link/membership and check that out. And so like you get a lot of the replays, stuff that I do on Instagram, other stuff that we talk about, posts that we are written and stuff, they get shared. But this week we're focused on content creation because a lot of people just have issues, questions, stuff that come up. So I'm going through and helping the community with that. So today, 2:00 Central Standard Time, we have this coming up. So I'll drop the link to that. So you can get it and join this week's class at $12. I think it is. Yeah, $12 here or whatever. Or you can join a monthly membership if you want to, or you just get this one. And we're talking about that. So it's more or less a Q&A segment on that. The video content masterclass is going to be different. That's going to be a course where that's not going to be today. So yeah, let me clarify that. Let's go through here. Saying I found you searching for eCam videos and subscribe because I like the other content. Well, I'm glad that I deliver, Burgess. So, and I love your red frames there. Very nice. The Oliver Perry, what are the best courses for people starting out and below 1,000 subscribers? To be honest with you, if I'm just complete honesty, there is no best course because, and it's not that there aren't good courses and great stuff out there, but there isn't any because everybody's journey and the what you want is different. And I'm all for like you finding somebody in your lane that is all about what you're talking about and what you're trying to do and investing with them. I don't have like, for example, I don't say, for example, y'all know I rock with Think Media. I'm not saying like go just get VRA because it's YouTube focused and that'll help you. There's a lot of stuff that will help you, but I think like you really need to be about like the people that are in your space. For example, let me pull up a friend of mine here. Think of her channel name. And so it's like, let's take a look. So this is my friend. Let's pause for the cause here. And this is Anita. Anita's channel is called Anita by Design. Step-by-step sewing tutorials for beginners. Anita currently just hit over 1,000 subscribers, so shout out to her. And she has been cranking for the last several years and overcame a lot of challenges and stuff like that. And just a phenomenal freaking person. Okay, but this is her sewing channel. I can't do nothing past a running stitch, so God bless her. And she makes long form content. And you know why people are okay and committed to watching her videos, even though it's longer? Because she delivers. And it's the thing, it's like, make it as long as it needs to be, no longer. And the other thing also is being on brand, being consistent and persistent with what you said that you wanted to do. When you look at Anita's channel, so step-by-step sewing tutorials for beginners. What is she doing? Step-by-step sewing tutorials for beginners. Every video talks about that. And if you follow her on Instagram, she makes fantastic clothes. She makes her own freaking clothes, like fabric, sewing machine, all of that. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so she recently had launched her course, I think. It might have been maybe about a month ago or whatever, maybe. She just wrote her book and she is now like in Barnes and Nobles and stuff. And so just all of that. And so if I was just getting started under over 1,000 subscribers, doesn't matter. And this is the kind of channel that I want. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm into. And that's what I'm, you know what I'm saying, going for and all of that stuff. I'm investing with her because not only does she make content that I myself would be consuming and watching, stuff that I can do, she's giving me a yes. You know what I'm saying? It's like you say, I'm learning how to make a skirt from such and such fabric 2936. Fantastic. I can buy that fabric, follow along. And by the end of the video, I have and can replicate and duplicate what you have and what you can do. I can do the same thing, and I'm getting success and I'm getting results. So whoever it is that you may be getting results from, go see what they have available and invest with them. I'm all for like supporting the people that are like in your niche and that are doing the things that you want, because if I recall, you are with real estate, more or less, if I recall. So you know who I would be all in with? biggerpockets.com. They have courses, trainings, books, the whole nine. I'd be with them because you know what they have? A YouTube channel that's on brand, that's on point with what I want, because it's like, it's not just about the successful YouTube channel. You really need to have a successful business and a successful business model that you're using and integrating to make the channel work. So it's not just like to get the right gear, and it's not really only a tech channel kind of a deal, but I'm helping you with these kinds of things and addressing like these kinds of stuff, because it's like, okay, buy the camera, get it look right, do all the different things. I also get excited about the gear, but it's like also, what are you making the videos for? Who are you making it for? What is the channel designed to do? And all of that stuff, right? So even when you look at, like I said, this Bigger Pockets channel, again, real estate investing for, I can't think of what their tagline is or whatever, but they start talking about all the different stuff. Have a fantastic YouTube channel that makes it easy for people to say yes. And they have courses and stuff around like real estate or whatever, but I'm sure they have probably something that more or less probably talks about this. There's some other channels that do real estate really well also, but it's like when you start, and because the goal here is just to make content, make relevant content for the people who want it, that are searching for it, obviously. So when somebody's coming and searching for the thing, it makes it easy for them to say yes to you. So, and then also understanding like, what's the point of your channel too? Is it to get the subscribers and do the YouTube thing? Then go find a channel that does more YouTube specific training. Like I said, Diana.link/VRA, you know, if that's the route that you want to take. And you can go that route and find the thing. Roberto Blake has some stuff around YouTube. Tim Schmoyer has stuff around YouTube. Daryl Ease have stuff around YouTube. Just a ton of freaking people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but whoever the lane or whatever the lane is, I believe that that's where you should invest. The reason why, like, I decided that I'm going to do the video content masterclass is because I'm not necessarily trying to just like only help you have a successful YouTube channel. I'm trying to show you how to leverage YouTube for your business. So when you make the videos, you're making them with an intent. You understand the elements and the stuff of why you need to do it. So even like down to the stuff of like when people hire an editor, like I was vetting some of the stuff that other people's doing, like when they are hiring an editor, and I'm like, people do stuff kind of like how I used to do in the beginning. It's like, you don't understand why you're doing it. And you figure like, just cause texts are popping on the screen and whatever, it's cool. That don't have nothing to do with editing with the intent for audience retention. That matters. It matters. Like the where you put stuff and the when and the understanding the triggers, like every 3 to 5 seconds, you need to be switching and doing something to keeping people's attention, but not just randomly putting stuff up there, but progressively having like, and using a framework that works for how you're producing content. So, Blind Light said, clicking on the folks in the comments will show their channel, but clicking on their name in the chat will give us the option to report or block them. Yeah, it's like, so if you click on the person above you or somebody randomly in the chat or whatever, YouTube gives you the option to like still keep listening. And then also if you have like I'm pretty sure it's like the YouTube Premium or what have you, you can listen and keep listening, but go like check out the other channels and stuff like that. Prairie Life saying, stop doing weird things at Diana Gladney. Best advice ever. 100%. What's up, Rabbit Hole Clicker? Good to see you. Getting things done. What's going on? Good to see you. Saying my range 15 to 50 minutes usually. Okay. Again, for what, for whom, and why? Because it's fine to have a video. I have a 52-minute video that I love to talk about just because it's 52 minutes on every menu ever on how to optimize the Sony a6400 camera for video. All the things that I change, all the whatevers. That video is not even like it took me 2 hours to record and we edited it down. No, it was pretty much exact because it wasn't a whole lot that I needed to change. It was just like some pauses or like I got up and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take 5 and go to the restroom or whatever. It was 52 minutes because that's how long it took me to explain stuff and then go through it. Whereas if I'm just sitting through and I'm like, click, me do it, it's like 5 minutes. So when I rent a camera and I want to test it out like I did with the A6100, then I'm just going through and I'm like, click, click, change. Or if I'm meeting up with a friend and they like, what do I need to do in my camera? Give it here. Click, 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 click. 5 minutes. Not even that. Right? So it's like, again, the why and the what. Let's take a look. I'm going to take a peek at your channel, Burgess. Okay, so number one, great job, because you come up for your name. And a lot of people don't. So let's take a look, saying an artist, blogger. Alrighty. Okay, pause for the cause. All right, so first off, the thing that you have up here is real estate. And I'm only marking this up like a teacher's because it's just easily visible. First thing that you have up here is real estate. You need to actively use the real estate that YouTube gives you to the best of your ability. And I always say the best thing to kind of like add up there, who are you helping with what specifically? What's the channel about? You know what I'm saying? Like what, and the good thing is that your name is your name, so they don't have to guess. Sometimes people get too, I don't know, brandy. Like they get too brandy with their channel. And it's just like, yeah, it's like your channel may be called the best ever slice of bread from heaven.com, you know, but it's like, who the hell is the host? Like, what's your name? Because if I wanted to say thank you to that person, all I know is the best sliced bread ever from the mountain on high.com. Like, it's no, who are you? So if y'all have some of those, put your name with Whitney Houston, with Franklin Roosevelt. You know what I'm saying? So like the thing up here is like, we see this, but what is that? It's not, it doesn't mean anything, right? So we want to get clarity and use the real estate that YouTube gives you for this. On phones, it looks a certain way. On desktop, it looks a certain way. So make sure that that is a thing that you're doing there, because let me take a quick sneak peek real quick. Let's go back, because it's important again to understand the real estate of YouTube, because I'm going to pull this up real quick. So I'm gonna click play on your video. Pause for the cause. So I'm just trying to pull this up. I want to pull this up on my phone. All right. So if we look at your channel here, right? We see what it's about. Let me maybe slide that over so we can see some more. All right, I think that's pretty good right there. Okay, so we can see more of what your channel, more or less, like you see like how it's set up here. All right. The difference is when I am on mobile, let's go here. It changes slightly, right? So I have even less to make up the space on mobile to make it make sense for me to read. So big text matters, and it's helpful also for people to see what it's about. Is it about journaling? Is it about coffee and tea? Is it about writing? You know, like, what is it about? So that's important to take a look at there when you're doing that. The other thing is, this is not a channel trailer. It's okay because you got something there. So you got something for the welcome mat, so that's fine. But the thing is though, saying, do I journal every day? That's for you. It's not about them. So whatever you put there needs to be about the other person that's clicking. What am I going to get? If I'm trying to figure out journaling, or maybe I found a video and I'm trying to see what else you have, maybe let's say, for example, because that one's about journaling. It's like, it should be like 5 tips for new people journaling or whatever, or the best journaling notebooks for whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like something around the other person. The other thing is that this is 2 years old. It's not that it's bad, but it's also that it doesn't also suggest per se that you're making regular content per se. It's not that it has to, but it's something to understand how the person looks at it. First things first, there's no thumbnails. So I have no idea, and these are very busy. So I have no idea what they're about. So it's like coffee chat vlog, planning, the bullet journal. It's like, if we're going to do this, you're saying planning the bullet journal, it's like turtle theme or whatever. And I see a turtle, but it's like, it's not clear. is not clear initially when you're looking at it. It's like the, what is that? New B5 bullet journal. The setup is not suggestive to let people know if they're searching for that. So let's search that real quick, and then I'll get off of it. Was it B5 bullet journal setup? That's what your video is saying that it's about. However, if I'm the viewer and I'm looking for a bullet journal, what is all of the rest of these videos similar to this and in this space have and talk about? They show the actual journal, and more or less it's kind of clean. Most of these not even, in my opinion, like the best thumbnails, but it's at least kind of like showing the journal somewhat, right? Let's go to see what comes up for just like the B5 bullet journal in general. Okay, more or less same videos. Some of those could use some work as well. So that should be very easy enough to rank for, more or less. And this is kind of other stuff like with thumbnail theory. That's not contrasty at all. It's like white on clear on light background. It's like, no. So it's like you can easily dominate this if you want to. You easily dominate this if you want to, because I've seen other stuff around like bullet journals and stuff like that. And these all, and you eventually do come up, but you're coming up in the middle of the page. You can get over some of these other people and start to come up here. I would say invest some time into the thumbnails, because these people ain't really doing nothing either, as far as the thumbnails are as well. So you can definitely step right on over that. But when it comes to the channel though, you got to be clear about what it is. And again, follow those best practices. And sometimes we're following them as best as we can, but I would say tighten it up a little bit here. So when it comes to the channel, is it clear on what you do? And there's no thumbnails, NaNoWriMo month. What is it? I'm embarrassed because I can't remember, but it's like, I know what the NaNoWriMo month is, but it's like, it's a lot of stuff in the booktuber and the writers community and stuff like that. Take advantage of that. But you're showing stuff from like 2014, 15, whatever, relevant stuff. There's nothing on here to suggest except for here that these are recent videos, and you see some recent uploads and stuff like this. But this down here is kind of like, it's hella old. So members only videos, okay, kind of get it. But let's go ahead and add some stuff for the person of who this is for, and make it a little bit more clear. So hopefully that helps you a little bit when it comes to that. We have, so I see what you're saying. It makes sense. Okay, glad to be helpful. Saying yes, point people to what they want. I'm having to rethink stuff. No worries. Let's scroll down here. Hey, we got a super chat here from Prairie Life. Appreciate that. Sheba Dog shaking her hips saying thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So next time I will use Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, no worries. If however you choose to give, I appreciate it. I think you have saying, I think you get to keep more if I use Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, you actually do. But it's okay. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's an option, but it's okay. So I appreciate it. No worries. So I need to reassess my channel. All of us do. And it's always a constant thing. And that's the thing with YouTube. It's always about being in a constant state of being better. So don't beat yourself up too bad. Like I said, the reason why I like to leave those older videos and stuff like that up there is just to show like I'm no different than anybody else. I had to learn just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So like, and thankfully, it's like, it's one thing if I started from great, amazing content or whatever. I didn't. I started from looking sucking and weird, and voice don't even sound normal. Like, so, you know, saying great advice from the Oliver Perry. Say no more. Glad to be of service. Just some great stuff. Getting things done. Fantastic job that you did there, buddy, on the iPad with Doc Rock that you guys were talking about. Really great stuff. Love your content. You are of great help. Well, thank you so much, Appalachian Ambrosia, I believe it's right. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Saying, how long should my stream videos be as a growing YouTuber? I have low engagements at the moment. So here's the thing. Everybody does. So you're in good company. Because here's the thing, much like how I shared earlier, is that you have not earned people's attention or the right for them to show up and openly give you, you know what I'm saying, their time, because they don't know what you're going to do with it. And sometimes like people will peek and they be like, I ain't going to say nothing because I don't want them to think I'm staying, you know? And it's just like, I'm a lurk and I'm a see. And that's fine, because it's like they want to see, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? The reason why, it's one thing if it's just like only a Q&A kind of a thing, like how most of the streams are. We kind of getting more topic focused these last few ones. But if we look at, let's go back to the channel. And let's take a look at those early live streams, because there's strategies and stuff that you can do there as well. So if we go here and we go to the date oldest, and then we go to, you change it from uploads to past live streams, you will also see, oh, that didn't go to the old ones. Got to go to the old ones. Oh Lord, that's gonna take forever to go through. So if you go to the older live streams, more or less, as I'm infinitively scrolling here, any of the live streams that I did, they were not always these more or less quote unquote 5-hour live streams. 40 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 26 minutes, whatever. One, also because I'm trying to work on getting better at this season where I'm doing this kind of stuff. I'm trying to get better at delivering what I said I wanted to talk about in the video, because sometimes we start off with the behavior that like, hey guys, thanks for joining the stream, and this week, blah, 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 blah. And ain't nobody there. And that's fine, but you got to know how to run the show when nobody's there. So tip number one could be have a couple slides presented of what you want to talk about for what you're trying to get into. Because if what you're trying to talk about is, let's go through here. So this is one that I think it's like 2-3 weeks ago or whatever. So I was talking about whatever I was talking about. I don't even recall. And I had a couple slides here. So if I was to start at this point to talk about these slides and whatnot, I would start it off the same way with having a planned opener. I'm not going to do a countdown timer, because I only do like a countdown timer like if I need the extra minutes. Because for me to just be sitting there personal, this is me personal, this is not about anybody or anything. I'm not finna sit here and listen to music and be dancing and like whatever. Like I had to tell my business partner, David, he's like, yeah, well, people need to see you. I'm like, David, get the hell out of here. I'm not doing that. Like, like I'm not doing it. It's not me. Y'all know I'm plain Jane and I'm proud of it. But it's like, you never finna just find me out here bopping and vibing and you can see me and stuff. Like, it's just not. If I need the few extra minute, it's just because I want to fix something, check out a couple things, or I'm finishing up my cup of coffee and I'm refilling real quick, but it's time to start the stream, so it's a countdown timer. In the early stages, there is no countdown timer. It needs to just start, because when they click, and even still too, there's something to be wary of as you get more seasoned or whatever. Like today, I just started, and I don't have a need for a countdown timer. We can just start. So if I was getting ready to do a live stream, I would have it planned. I would probably try to be no longer than 10 to 15 minutes. If I was to start it all over again today, I would probably try to not get no longer than 10 or 15 minutes. And if I was going to say, I don't even remember what I was talking about in the slides that I'm about to show you, but I'd be like, in this stream, we're going to be talking about why you need to be doing these 3 things for YouTube channel growth, and why I made this mistake when I was first finding my first camera, and blah, 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 super important tips and things that I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and jump right in. And so this week, we want to address, like, how have you changed in the last year? One of the things is blah, 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 this, that, or whatever, tips 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the most important things. The other thing is to understand your future goals impact your current decisions, not the other way around. And this was a fantastic presentation when I did it. I don't even remember what it was. And did it live, though. But it's like, I've looked at it, I've planned, I've thought through the content, I've thought about the things that I want to talk about in relation to these different things. And then I move on. Key number 1, identify your core needs. And I think this one is about, now that I'm thinking about it, picking a camera or the right camera for you. And so I had these different slides available. And so if I'm going back to just talking about the thing and I'm saying identify the core needs and blah, 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 and the things that I know I want to talk about, I'm being very much so on point as I'm talking about them, and I'm keeping it moving right along. Right? The whole time I'm keeping it moving right along. So I may go from where it is a, you know, slide dominant thing to where it is a more fuller frame of just me. And that's the only two things that I'm switching between. Or it could just be the whole slide and you're not on the screen at all. And that may not be no more than 3 or 5, because that's enough to get you through a 10 to 15 minute video as you are talking. And then when you're done, if nobody shows and they watch the replay, they like, oh, this how the live streams be? Okay. I'm like, okay, that was good. Like, okay, that was cool. It's like, cause it's moving right along. And so if you don't have somebody in the live stream with you at the time that you're doing it, it's fine. Don't freak out. Because if I don't plan the live streams, guess what? Ain't nobody here either. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you actually are live, but it's like you're playing a live, you just pop up the first few seconds or whatever you start to stream, ain't nobody there. YouTube has to notify them that you're now live and do you want to check it out? And this is what the title is and blah, blah, blah. And they got to decide, do I even have time for this right now? Because it wasn't planned. I didn't know. So if you plan it out, that's a good way to get people to start. If it is something you like, I got energy today. I believe in myself today. My courage is up. I'm going for it. Let's just go. I'm doing it. You can do it. 3 to 5 slides. Use canva.com. Go to diana.link/Canva and check out Canva. If you have a nonprofit, if you're a teacher, or if you're a 501c3 organization, you can get the pro account for free. So go through your thing, do your spiel, and call it good in the stream. You don't have to do more than that. If you get somebody that shows up, let's say it was just me and Burgess. And Burgess is my number one go-to, my ace boom coon, just we rocking it. We are rocking it. It's me and her. And so she's like, oh, I da-da-da-da-da. And she's the only one in the chat. I'm treating Burgess like she is priority number one, because you know why? She is. You know what I'm saying? And then let's say Oliver pops in. He sees her in the chat. It's like, oh, okay, Oliver, good to see you. Glad that you're here. This, that, or whatever. Question this, that, or, you know, blah, 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 blah. Good. And you know what I'm saying? I'm acknowledging them, but I'm also getting to the point and talking about the things. So it's just not like, hey, tell me what you think and this, that, or whatever. So you got to have, that takes some time to develop. I'm not going to lie. But the thing is, it's like content first, and then always acknowledge your community. So if you notice, if I did just do a pop-up live stream, because I wasn't quite feeling all that well this morning. So I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this at noon. And I'm like, not really feeling it. But I'm going to push through because I got to get up anyway. And so I was like, that's why it's not scheduled, because I'm like, I don't know. But I planned for it. It's on the calendar. But I ain't going to put it on the channel until I know. And the stream popped up about 30 minutes before it started. First start the stream. Nobody's here yet. Show runs. It runs so that it maintains the integrity of the replay value. So I acknowledge, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, thanks for being here. And we move it right along. If somebody shows up, it's like, okay, cool. You see it pop up in the corner of your eye or whatever. Or you just keep over, you look over, check, and it's like, keep it moving. Don't freak out if nobody's there. It'll be fine. 10 to 15 minutes is all you need. 5 to 10 minutes, even if that. Fixed Point saying great content. Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Glad to be of service. But yeah, it's just like keep it as long as it needs to be, no longer for those live streams early on. Saying I already know some things I need to correct or add as a new creator, kind of dealing with fear factor. My about section has info about channel, but need to include brief description and channel banner. So I think I would say about that is important, but like it doesn't, like we can all change that now together. Right? So don't focus on that too much. It's something that it's fixable, right? So if you are needing to adjust the about, do the best you can. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, let's go over here, check out mine. Howdy, because that's what I say. It's not that I'm from Texas. I don't know. It's something I picked up and like it. Howdy, I'm Diana. This channel is all about helping busy entrepreneurs create videos easier. I'm a full-time video content creator and blah, 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 and y'all can see all the rest. On this channel, I share 3 primary types of content. Number 1, what video gear to buy to more effectively create channel content or create video content. Number 2, how to set up and use that gear and relevant software tools. Number 3, easy ways to simplify creating videos in your business, and some behind the scenes look into using video for business. So if that's up your alley, consider subscribing. 3 things. Click on any 3 videos on my channel. They somewhere fit in the bill except for the old stuff, real old stuff, because it was before it was that was the channel promise. But those are the 3 primary things. And here's about me. This is what the channel is about. There's something that you're into, welcome aboard. You don't have to focus that much on it as far as that is concerned with the about. Don't copy and paste that if you want to, and just obviously change your name and all of that kind of stuff. But don't focus on it too much. So, and always enjoy the info you provide. You really give some great gems. I appreciate that. The Wise Soul, good to see you. Since we started our live stream as a 30-minute, but it's currently 45 to 55 minutes on average due to audience engagement. We still like to keep it as close to 30 to 45 minutes for the live stream for replay. This is where channel chapters become really great because, for example, I can go back to today's stream when this is done and we cover blah, blah, blah at these points. And then when we mostly start getting into just like clearing the queue for the comments, Q&A starts here, and I can choose to put what each question is or whatever. I'm not probably gonna do that. It's just gonna be Q&A starts here, and you'll see like a long line for the rest of it is Q&A. So if you only want the primary tips of the things of the what to do's, it probably is anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes, if that. You can go back and just watch those singular segments or skip to what they want, and then know that the Q&A is there. Because once you do get channel engagements, that's the only reason why the 5-hour live stream even became a thing, is because, or even like the 2-hour live streams became a thing, it's because of y'all. So as you don't have the community that want to engage in stuff like that, you can still feel free to answer that. The other thing is like understanding your show. Mine is one to where if it's only going to be about the topic and then I'm leaving, I'm gonna say that right up front, but that's going to be unusual to the community now, because y'all know I go through and I set the goal to like go through and try to answer every comment. And some streams is harder to do that than others. But if that's the goal, and I'm like saying there's going to be a part for Q&A, then you need to define, do you want to set the ridiculous and sometimes unrealistic goal of answering every question in the Q&A or like in the chat and stuff, or do you want to outline a few that you have that comes in that may be relevant and stuff like that? So that's when it comes to like acknowledge the community and stuff like that. I'm big on community though, so that's why I go through and do that. But if you want to kind of like get that core show down to the 30 minutes, you really got to create a show framework that makes sense to saying, hey, and you could put a lower third or a banner up to say, hey, if you have questions, make sure you put a Q or 3 question marks at the beginning. We'll go through and answer as many relevant questions as we can, and that way your community knows it's a hard stop at 30 minutes. It's a hard stop at 30 minutes, and that's still fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Good afternoon, Digging Canuck. Good to see you. Glad that you're here. It's very insightful. Thanks so much for the tips. Love the replay value. Noted. 100%. Last question here. I'm thinking of joining the community call this afternoon. How does that work? Do we chat as a group about the topics, or do you just share more info and we ask questions? I'm interested. So that one is going to be through Zoom, so that you can pop on and like how a regular Zoom is, and ask your questions. And so what we have been doing already in the community. So like if I go through the posts on Buy Me a Coffee. So I'm glad I reshared this one recently. So this is our June community calendar back here in the members area. And so from May 31st through June the 5th, which ends tomorrow, this is the planning week. So the goal is to create more content. A lot of people get stuck. They talk about consistency issues. I'm tired of hearing it, and I want to help with that. So it's like, because it's fixable. All these things are fixable. So this week is planning week. So we've had various posts that dig into how to plan out your content. There's also other videos in the membership area that's like members only videos. It's like, where should you be posting online? Gear and tech troubleshooting. And so the week 2, which is going to be June 6th through the 12th, is digging into execution week. So we're going to talk more about content planning systems and tools, content workflow from video posts, written posts, and things like that. And so a lot of people have been having questions about a lot of the things. And so from a week by week basis in the community, that's what we're doing. So week 1 is a planning week. So people that are having issues planning out video content, video ideas, or like, these are the new ideas that I have, and these are kind of where my channel has been, like, how do I mix and match the two? So that's what we're going to be digging into. So this week is about planning. So that's what this session is. It's a live Q&A. So it's not like this to where it is just me and then I pull a comment on the screen and I say whatever. It's a Zoom call. And so we go through and you can talk through and we'll dialogue about what's going on with your stuff specifically. So that's what that call is about. It's about the week 1 for the planning week. And so if you join the members area, then you'll see those other videos of what I'm talking about. Like we talk about day 1, June 1, what's your content goal? And so that's video that's there. It's like, are you starting to feel anxious? A lot of things that we start digging into when it comes to a lot of stuff around the planning, the content, the going through, the getting clarity, and things like that. So that's what we're talking about this week. But that's where I'm gonna leave it for this week's live stream. Whether you're watching this live on a replay, I appreciate you being here, for your time and your attention. For those of you joining the membership, go to dana.link/membership. We'll be doing the Q&A call about the planning stuff. It starts in a little under 30 minutes. So at the top of the hour, which is 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We rock it at for an hour. So whoever's there, Q&A, we'll dive into the planning stuff. With that, guys, a little bit of passion. I'll see you on the next video on the channel. Peace out.